Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me directly through Benji at alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcast. People of Distinction is an internationally syndicated show solely due to the love and support that you all continue to show. We're available across all major podcast distributors, and like I mentioned, people, if you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in because we are delighted to showcase this next guest on our network. And on the line with us today, we have the impressive Joe R. Eagleman. Now, listen, man, we're going to be discussing his incredible book, My Love Affair with Music. Okay. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. Most importantly, it's joeeagleman.com. And listen, this is the reason why you got to head on over to the website because, so the anchor for today is all about his book, My Love Affair with Music. But man, Joe has been putting in some work, okay? In addition to this, he has over 40 additional titles. That's not a typo. That's not a play on hyperbole. This man is a writer through and through, and it shows. So again, you want to gather everything that he has in store, head on over to joeeagleman.com. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Joe here on the line. You know, it's said that a life well lived leaves echoes. Well, for Joe Eagleman, those echoes are perfectly in tune. Okay. Now, he's here to share how making music with the people you love can become your family's most sacred ritual. All right, now this isn't just a story about notes and chords. It's about the profound joy of a creative fire that simply refuses to go out. His memoir, My Love Affair with Music, man, it's part backstage pass and part love letter to the soundtrack that held his family together through every key change life threw at them. Now, I'm not gonna say that's gonna be the last pun I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna simmer down now. We just needed it for the opening. Here we go. People, sit back, strap in, man. Joking aside, this is gonna be a fantastic book to add to your shelf, and it's going to be a wonderful discussion that you're going to be able to partake in right now. Sit back, strap in, let's get it started. Joe, first and foremost, welcome to the network, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Joe, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here on the network, man. Your book is so deeply personal to you, but I think wonderfully beneficial for everyone that picks it up. All right, I really do mean that. We're looking forward to this discussion and everything that we're going to be able to learn from it. First and foremost, let's start off at that foundation. Tell us a little bit more about the book, My Love Affair with Music, so we know what to expect when we head on over and purchase it.
Okay, it's about how music has influenced my life, and I think it has influenced it more than I would have suspected before I started writing the book. And I imagine that may be true of other people as well, if they hadn't thought about how much music actually affects your life. In my case, I always loved to sing, even when I was quite small. I remember in second grade, I learned all of the words to Tragic Romance and was able to sing that. I always wanted to learn to play the guitar, but I wasn't able to be able to play the guitar until I was about 60 years old, so we waited quite a while for that. But I have gotten autographs from more than 100 country music artists, and I made little guitars about 6 inches long, and got their autographs on those. So that was very interesting. I started a band and have written music for recording. So it's been a part of my life, and I suspect it's more a part of other people's lives than they really suspect.
Mm-hmm. You know, Joe, thank you very much for that, man. And listen, I'm right there with you. Okay, I think music is such a wonderfully powerful tool, right? And it's something that although I was never gifted with that artistry, right? Like I'm not a musician, but of course my father, Al Cole, is, and he is, man, he's a musician through and through. Okay, and I grew up watching him create music and having such an appreciation for it. And I think because of that influence, music has always held a particular closeness to me. And again, I remember when I was in high school, when I was in college, and how I utilized music almost as a therapeutic tool to process my emotions, right? Like whatever I may or may not have been feeling at any given time, I was able to tap into certain songs, certain melodies that would really help me process things. And I think that's somewhat what you're hitting on. But of course, it's a very nuanced conversation. But all in all, I'm right there with you, man. I understand. I want to now go into what you would categorize this book as, Joe. I'm curious, man. Is this book an autobiography? And I guess, do you have others?
Yes, I suppose you would classify it as an autobiography. Mm-hmm. But I have another one that is more an actual autobiography. It's called Name Your Price, and that tells much more detail about my life. I have had a pretty interesting life, actually. I was the 11th of 12 children growing up on a farm. I went to a one-room country school. I became a professor at the University of Kansas and wrote a textbook that was adopted by more than 100 other universities. I had an experiment on Skylab, but probably the most claim to fame is that I invented an artificial tornado that was the first type that you could touch, not in a box or that sort of thing. And the name of my autobiography is Name Your Price. And that name came from what the lawyers at Universal Studios told me when they called from Hollywood and wanted me to bring my book to Hollywood and explain how to form an artificial tornado. And they wanted to make a twister attraction in Orlando, and they actually used my model to do that.
Man, okay. Listen, talk about a perfectly titled book, right? Name Your Price. Joe, there are a lot of people listening in right now, man, that would, there's not much they wouldn't do to be put in that position, right? Like, oof, man, listen, well, you definitely earned it, Joe, okay? My follow-up, man, you mentioned before being in multiple bands and how music has played such an impactful role for you. Okay, well, what types of songs have you written? Tell us a little bit more about that.
I've written the songs for 6 albums that have been recorded. One of them is Christian music. One of them is Christmas music. And the other 4 are country music types.
I love it. Okay, and what was one of your favorite performances, Joe? I mean, let's go back through the Rolodex of memories, man. Do you have one that sticks out more than others?
Yes, I've had several that were interesting, but probably one that sticks out the most is on a Carnival Cruise. I took a travel guitar on this cruise, and they had a talent contest that I won, playing this travel guitar and playing one of my original songs. And one of the things things that came from that was that they told me that I could open for the show that night. So before the big show with 3,000 people, I played the same guitar by myself and sang this original song. And the amazing part was not only the 3,000 contestants or people that they were listening, but the acoustics were so marvelous that it just enhanced your voice and just made it a really nice performance.
Joe, that sounds incredible, man. Listen, we're going to have to invite you back onto the network just to talk about that experience, because my goodness, what an amazing one it must have been. 3,000 people. Listen, I've come close. I've probably performed in front of 1,000 live, and that was pretty much it. But 3,000, man, there's nothing like a live performance. There's nothing like the adrenaline that you feel when that happens. So we're looking forward to hearing about that on the next get-together we have with you. Joe, I'm curious, how many bands have you been in, man?
I guess the first was in college. As I said, I couldn't play the guitar, but I loved to sing, and I found a couple other guys that liked to play. And so we did a show in a dance hall on Saturday nights for several weeks when I was in college. That was the first one. Then the next was when I was getting ready to retire. I learned to play the guitar and got together with some other friends, and we formed a band called the Country Gentlemen, and that lasted for 5 or 6 years. We played for county fairs and restaurants and those kind of places, and that eventually ended. And then when my grandkids started to develop an interest in music and wanted to learn to play the guitar, why, we got together on Sunday afternoons, and so we formed the Eagleman band. One of my granddaughters did the bass, and a couple others did electric guitars, and one of my grandsons also liked to sing, but he couldn't write the music, so I would write the music, and he would alternate in singing with me.
Fable, I'm telling you, remember, this is one you're going to want to add to your shelf, okay? It's entitled My Love Affair with Music. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. Most importantly, it's joeeagleman.com. Head on over there, purchase your copies, and remember, this is just one of many. There's a lot more in store, okay? Joe has over 40 additional titles that you're going to want to get your hands on. So don't worry, My Love Affair with Music is just the beginning, all right? But what a great place to start. Head on over there, purchase your copies today. Joe, my next question, man, going through this journey, right, that transpired through all of the musical performances that you've had, and I'm sure all of the people, right, that you have encountered, have you had any interesting times in getting autographs of musical stars that you'd like to share with us right now?
Yes, I've had several very interesting ones. I started making little guitars about 6 inches long and getting autographs on them. And one in particular that was interesting was on a country music cruise. I took along a guitar, and they had autograph sessions in the afternoon, and the lines were long, waiting for those autograph sessions. So I had the guitar along and started playing and singing in line. And a guy from Kentucky started singing harmony with me. So we sang for over an hour till we got up to the door, and the doorkeeper looked at my ticket and he said, "You're not scheduled today, yours is tomorrow, so you can't come in." So I went back to the motel room, or the ship cabin, and after about an hour I stepped out in the hall, and there was Brad Paisley. He's a famous country music artist. And I said, I just waited in line about an hour to get your autograph. And he said, no problem, I'll do it now. So he stepped into my room and signed one of the guitars, and we talked for a while. So that was a very interesting way to get an autograph.
Well, listen, the moral of the story here is it's always better to be early than late, right? I mean, you were so punctual that you got the best gift of all, man. No, that's incredible. Joe, listen, as I mentioned a number of times already throughout this interview, listen, man, you have over 40 titles that have been written. Now, as we close out of here, Joe, I want to ask, man, give us a brief synopsis on one of your other titles, right? Let us know about one of them, or, because knowing you, man, there's probably more on the horizon. So what's upcoming, man? What's next for you?
Well, I probably will write more books, but I just completed a online course from Michigan State University on screenwriting, so I'm going to give that a try also. I've written the songs, about 14 songs for our 7th album, and so we're currently working on those to get those ready to record. So those are some of the things that I have working on right now.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Well, listen, man, keep up the fantastic work, okay? And we look forward to all the amazing projects that are still yet to come, okay? And people, listen, I'm going to say it for you one last time before we close out of here. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, it's joeeagleman.com. My love affair with music is just the beginning. Man, there is so much left in store, and hopefully a lot more upcoming, okay? The biggest takeaway that I'm holding on to, listen, is that legacy doesn't have to be a monument, right? Now follow me here, because sometimes it can be a playlist shared and sung by the people who outlive you, by the memories that you leave behind. And if this conversation has moved you, don't just let it evaporate, man. Grab this book, start your own family band, even if it's just you in the band. Head on over, purchase your copies, embark upon that journey. Until next time, keep playing this song that only you can play, and allow this book to carry you through. Joe, this has been an absolute pleasure. Man, I really do mean that. Keep up the fantastic work. This has been an absolute delight. And until next time, thank you for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you for hosting it.